Hello everyone. In this video we are going to discuss chapter 3 from topic 3.1 to 3.4 of new approach to ICSE chemistry part 1 class 9. Let's start. The name of the chapter is water. Water is the most important substance for our survival in this world, next to air. It means that air is the primary important, and after air water is also very much important. Roughly 4.5 of the earth's surface is covered with water, and 70% of the plants and animal body is also made up of water. This shows how important water is for plants and animals. Moving further, now we are going to discuss the importance of water. Water, it's very much important for the growth of the plants and animals. Water is so essential that almost every function which is carried out in the cells of the plants and animals is because of the presence of water. Water is required for growing and cooking food. Water is required for cleaning our body externally from outside by bathing. It is also important to clean the body internally and regulate various life processes. Animals excrete urine, which eliminates lot of waste from the body. The water drank is eliminated out in the form of urine and helps in removing out the waste from the body. Next is that water is essential for the industries. In hydroelectric power stations, the electricity is produced in the large amount with the help of water. Bulk transport of the different goods is carried out from one country to another with the help of seawater, as seawater is used for the transportation purpose of ships, and hence it helps in transportation. So these were the 6 importance of water. Moving further, now we shall discuss where is water found in free state as well as in the combined state. Water occurs in 2 states. Water occurs in free as well as in combined states. In free states, water occurs in solids, liquids, and gaseous state. In solid state, water usually occurs in the form of snow or ice. You should know that the regions of Antarctica and Arctic have a frozen water, and frozen water is snow or ice. Frost and raw frost, these are also two different forms of water in the solid state. Moving further, water is also in the form of liquid state. In liquid state, most of the water is present in oceans. Water is also found in streams, rivers, lakes, ponds. Water is also found under the surface of earth, and the water under the surface of earth is called groundwater. You can also obtain water from the wells, and that is called well water. You can also obtain water with the help of hand pumps or tube wells. These are also the examples of the groundwater. Soil contains specific amount of water in it in the form of moisture, and that is also in the form of liquid state. Dew is also the liquid state of water which we obtain. Moving further, the gaseous form of water consists of water vapors. These water vapors may be present in air in the form of clouds when these water vapors condense together. On condensing, they form clouds. In gaseous state, water can also be obtained in the form of mist or in the form of fog. Water is also obtained in the combined state. In combined state, water is usually found along with the other elements in different organisms. Water is present in the carbohydrates. Water is also present in proteins in the combined form. Some salts also contains water in the form of water of crystallization. For example, copper sulfate pentahydrate, CuSO4 is copper sulfate, and 5H2O is a pentahydrate, and 5H2O pentahydrate is the form of water of crystallization. The second example given is FeSO4 dot 7H2O. Here 7H2O is the water of crystallization found along with ferrous sulfate FeSO4. Hence, the water exists in free state as well as in combined state. Moving further, now we are going to discuss the topic composition of water. Earlier, scientists believed that water is an element. For this, you should be very much familiar with the class 8 elements and the compounds. Elements are these substances which cannot be further divided into simpler substances, while compounds are the combinations of two or more than two elements together. Here, the early scientists believed that water is an element The scientist Henry Cavendish in 1786, he showed that water can be prepared by igniting 2 volumes of hydrogen and 1 volume of oxygen. When 2 volumes of hydrogen and 1 volume of oxygen are ignited together, they form water. Scientist A.L. Lavoisier, he showed that water is a compound. He showed that water is made up of hydrogen and oxygen atoms which are combined together in the ratio of 2:1. Lavoisier showed that water is a compound and he gave the characteristics of compound to water. Why he regarded water as a compound? A.L. Lavoisier regarded water as a compound because the compounds have some elements combined together in fixed proportion by weight. He regarded water as a compound because a compound has a property different from constituting elements. He regarded water as a compound because the components of the compounds cannot be separated by the physical means. Now let's discuss in detail. A.L. Lavoisier regarded water as a compound because water molecule consists of water and oxygen. Water molecules consist of hydrogen and oxygen atoms which are combined together in the ratio of 1:8 by weight. This is the characteristic of a compound also. Whenever 2 or more than 2 elements combine together in a specific ratio by weight, that is considered as a compound. Here water also consists of 2 atoms of hydrogen and 1 atom of oxygen, and they are combined in the ratio of 1:8 by weight. Therefore water is regarded as a compound. Moving on to the second point, hydrogen is a combustible gas. Hydrogen can burn, while oxygen is a supporter of combustion. Oxygen don't burn, but it helps in burning. Both hydrogen and oxygen combines together to form water, and water is a compound which neither combusts nor it supports combustion. Means water extinguishes fire. Now this extinguishing fire character is opposite to that of hydrogen and oxygen, and this is also the characteristic of a compound, that the character of a compound is different from its constituting elements. Water can extinguish fire, which is a different character from hydrogen, as hydrogen is a combustible gas. Water extinguishes fire, it's a different character from oxygen, which is a supporter of combustion, while water is neither combustible nor it helps in combustion. Hence we consider water as a compound. The third point for water is that water is unable to separate into its constituents by physical means. You cannot separate hydrogen and oxygen from water by any physical means. If you want to separate its constituents, hydrogen and oxygen, from water, you can separate it only and only with the help of electrochemical means. Hence, these are the 3 points because of which water is considered or regarded as a compound. Moving on further, now we are going to discuss the types of water. Water is of mainly 2 types: natural and treated water. The water which occurs in nature in the free state, it is called the natural water. The water which occurs in free state, these are rainwater, it occurs free in state, spring water, well water, river water, sea water. We obtain these different sources of water in nature, and that also in free state. Hence, these sources contain water, and that water is known as natural water. The second type is treated water. The natural water which is treated by some man-made processes before putting it into any particular use is called treated water. When the natural water is unfit for drinking and it is treated by the human beings with any different chemicals or methods so that it can be used later on, such type of water is called a treated water. Treated water is having further different kinds, and the first kind is distilled water. The water which is obtained by the distillation of the natural water is called distilled water. Distilled water does not contain any salts or gaseous impurities in it. This type of water is the purest form of water, and it is used in medication purposes for preparing soluble injections as well as in qualitative analysis. You must have seen certain injections in which the injection is usually in the form of salt, and a pack of distilled water is obtained along with it. That distilled water is mixed with the salt to prepare an injection. The packet which we obtain from the market to mix with the salt to prepare an injection is a packet of distilled water. Distilled water is also used in qualitative analysis. It means it is used in laboratories for different experiments. The second type of treated water is potable water or drinking water. This water is the water which is free from impurities, which is free from poisonous impurities, which is free from germs, which is free from bacteria, and is safe to be consumed by the humans. Such type of water is called potable water. Potable water is obtained from the natural rivers like lakes, well water. It is cleared by treating with alum. The natural water obtained from rivers and lakes, to this water alum is added to it. Alum is a chemical which is known as Fatkari. When alum is added, most of the impurities settle down, and then the water, after suspension of the impurities, is passed through filter beds. Filter beds are the filters which remove the impurities, and then the remaining water is sterilized. Sterilized means to kill the germs. The germs are killed from that water by passing chlorine gas through it. Thus, the river water, which was unfit for drinking, is purified first by adding alum, then by passing filter beds, and then by passing chlorine to kill the germs, and the water so obtained is a potable water and is safe for consumption of the human beings. That's all in this video.